I hope y'all brought enough water with y'all, cause it's about to get real hot.
Yeah.
Cause with this next song, we ready to enter the shadow realm and into the gates of hell.
Hey, yo, what'd he say?
Yeah!
What'd he say?
So y'all motherfuckers better be ready to sell y'all souls.
Oh, nah, hold on. I think I'm at the wrong concert.
I just need y'all to sing these lyrics with me.
Hey, yo,
Come on, DJ, spin that shit.
Yeah!
Demons.
Bro, you ain't just hear what he said? Yo, you
Demons.
Why y'all not listening?
One thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. There's no place to go.
Today I'd like to bring to your attention a potential fraud on an enormous scale happening in your county. There's now clear evidence of NASA using numerous methods to grossly mislead the public about astronauts being on the International Space Station. During interior ISS scenes from NASA's own live feed, the use of wires, harnesses, green screens, and virtual reality have been detected to achieve the appearance of a weightless environment. Examples of this include astronauts fading in and out of the screen, green screen glitches, grabbing objects that aren't really there, pulling on invisible wires, getting tangled in their harnesses, and even astronauts appearing out of thin air. This begs the obvious question. If they're really up there, why are they using Hollywood techniques to fake the footage? Now, unfortunately, I can't show you these clips in here today, but I will be sending them to you. Moving on, outside the International Space Station, during spacewalks, air bubbles have been recorded on numerous occasions. How is it possible for air bubbles to be present in the vacuum of space? I once questioned astronaut Scott Kelly about this phenomenon. His body language and answers only created more questions. In 2013, astronaut Luca Parmitano nearly drowned during a spacewalk when his helmet filled with water. This happened again just last year. Air bubbles, helmets filling with water, and drowning. Are they in space or are they underwater? Now, what's really interesting is that they trained for spacewalks in an underwater pool with a complete ISS replica. Now, surely they aren't filming these spacewalks in an underwater pool and then editing them to appear if they're in space, because that sure would be something, wouldn't it? I'm calling on the Brevard County Commissioners to open a full investigation into NASA's fraudulent practices and use of taxpayer dollars. It costs NASA $3 billion per year to operate the ISS, and if they don't have a darn good explanation as to why they're faking these videos, I and the public would like a darn good explanation as to where our tax money is going. And if they are indeed faking the funk, it is our duty to expose and eliminate this fraudulent and astronomically wasteful ISS program. And look, I know what you're all thinking. The NASA is part of the federal government, and you're just county commissioners. Even if what I'm saying is true, what can you do? But let me remind you, not only is this happening in your county, as public officials, you have the platform and the ability to make a statement or hold a press conference, alerting the public, state, and federal authorities to investigate further. You have the power to start the conversation. Video evidence of everything I described today will be emailed to you all, and I truly hope we can get to the bottom of this. I look forward to the day that $3 billion annual budget is put towards our veterans, our homeless, maybe some of that mental health stuff the young lady just spoke about, and the revitalization of Brevard County. Thank you for your time today, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, sir.
I think you're better at ping pong than I am. Here's how. Just simply use a blue screen. Voila, now you have a bubble of water floating, as if he's in the outer space, inside the ISS.
White people, watch this video, and I'll be right back.
He published a book called Race, Tendencies, and Traits of the American Negro, in which he lays out all the numbers, and then he concludes that if we simply avoided allowing black people to have any access to health care, that within 2 or 3 generations, the whole race would die out, and that would solve the race problem in America. When Teddy Roosevelt, 1912, proposed a national health care system, people said no because black people will get it. When Franklin Roosevelt proposed a national health care system, it was the same thing. We don't want black people to get it. When Truman tried it in 47, same thing. Don't want black people to get it. We have to figure out a way to keep black people from using Medicare. And the way that they came up with was to have a 20% hole, a gap in Medicare, so that you had to pay 20% of your doctor's bill and your hospital bill, and that would discourage poor black people from showing up at the hospitals. Nearly 100% of the reason why the United States is the only country in the world that doesn't define healthcare as a right is because of racism. He published a book called Race, Tendencies, and Traits of the American Negro.
How many times do I have to say this? Racism is a detriment to you white folks, poor white folks especially. Because of racism, you poor white folks can't even get good health care. Because they thought if they could deny health care to black people that we would have been eradicated a long time ago. But hey, we still here. And they have not changed the rules. How crazy is that? Even with Social Security, you have to pay 20% because of racism. We keep telling you. BIPOC keep telling you. Black people keep telling you, it is not us that makes your life suck. It is those racist politicians and their racist legislation that they think that's going to harm us, but harms you at the same time. And they don't care if it harms you. They don't give a shit. And then you continue to vote against your own interest. All because a bunch of rich white people told y'all to hate black people because black people are doing stuff to you as a whole. And we're not. Because we don't control shit. We don't control the healthcare system. We don't control Social Security. We don't control your wages. We don't control shit. But they continue to tell you that it's us. So you turn your focus on us and harass the shit out of us for no fucking reason. When we have no power to affect your life as a whole community. Pay attention. Ending racism is not just beneficial to BIPOC. It's super beneficial to poor white folks and middle-class white folks. I said what the fuck I said. Remember, diversity equal power. We can change the world when we work together and protect black women. Until next time. And also, go into the comment section and let me know what you think about this video. I'm interested to see.
Sit down, because this is free game. This is what I refer to as a glitch. You ever been rocking with somebody and everything is going so cool, so peaceful, they're respectful, they melt your butter, baby. And then all of a sudden, boom. In the matter of seconds, something just flicks off. And now you're looking at this person like, damn, I can't even recognize you anymore. Who is this? A lot of the times we are solely attracted to a person's personality, which is partially correct. But your character and a person's personality should go hand in hand. I care more about your character over your personality because that's your beliefs, that's your values, that's your morals. A good character will make for a bomb personality. A character will start to show you that glitch in that personality. And now you wonder why this woman was just loving you down. 2 days later, she's fucking around because it's within her character. She doesn't feel like she needs to stand on any type of value of a loyalty or this relationship means something to me. Pay attention to character. Personality will follow.
A street dude ain't no different than a female. They propagate gangsterism. Women think that's masculinity. It's a call for help. Street dudes grew up without a father.
All the time, we're going to teach him not to be in the streets.
But listen, when you stand at a street dude, what did he do? What you looking at? What you looking at, nigga? That's the same thing that women do. When you staring at a woman, it's like, oh boy, what you looking at? They got the same energy as a woman. It just has a different frequency to it. You got the same energy. When you're over emotional, that creates toxicity. Because your emotions is not in balance with logic. Like they dealing with a lot of internal problems. Propagate gangsterism, and women think that's masculinity. Smoking all day, popping pills, you know what I'm saying, flashing the money. They trying to compensate for the lack thereof. Something happened to that man when he was a little boy. A lot of them deal with a lot of mental issues, while a lot of them are really like low-key homosexuals too.
I heard about that. I did hear about that.
A lot of street people are really that, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of women today, you know, they really think that like, oh, he a street dude, you know what I'm saying? He is listening to NBA Youngboy. That's Bay right there. That's Bay. You got, you know, they think that's like masculine energy. A masculine man is always a very logical man, not an emotional man. Emotional people act on impulse.
Y'all see this, right? No.
No, la herramienta, me reportaron el cuarto cerrado.
Get away from my door.
Sorry.
Bro, what? See, there's a reason why they tell you to lock your doors.
Page 55 from the committee's interview with FBI employee Gloria Demla, who you just spoke about, which took place on July 17, 2023. In that line, she says, the question was asked, okay, if someone were to leave here today, were to leave this interview and were to suggest or imply that when you said the laptop was real, that it meant that the FBI had affirmatively determined in October 2020 that the laptop belonged to Hunter Biden, that the contents belonged to Hunter Biden, and that the contents had not been manipulated in some way, would they be representing what you said, correct? Answer by Ms. Demla. They would be representing what I said because I don't have much knowledge of that. They would be misrepresenting what I said because I don't have much knowledge of that. Because this committee likes to misrepresent or leave off complete sentences.
Guys, if you haven't watched They Clone Tyrone, I suggest you watch it. They did a phenomenal job with this movie, and I pray that it doesn't go over a lot of people's heads. It was a lot of truth in the movie, which kind of makes me a little weary, because I'm like, well, if they're gonna put the truth in plain sight, what else is behind that? So I feel like, you know, we're in some type of reality where there's a curtain behind another curtain behind another curtain to we reveal what's actually behind the curtain, kind of like The Wiz. So a couple of things that I noticed that really stood out to me was the food. Number one, they put stuff in our food to affect our behavior, our mood, our stability. They target certain areas for a reason. The music that we listen to. And then I saw a couple of other videos of a lot of people explaining what they thought about the movie too, with the symbolism. But the one thing I haven't seen yet was slightly towards the end, where the guy that was actually pulling the strings, he was black. And I don't want to be that guy. But it kind of talked about black gatekeepers too. And so I just think that they did a phenomenal job on this movie. Definitely go check it out. And I really hope that this movie doesn't go over a lot of people's heads. But like I said, if they're putting it in plain sight, I wonder what's really behind the curtain. Like, what's next? Like, what are they planning next that we don't know? So, yeah, go check it out.